In jede Erwartung, in jede friedige Historie, in Baruch Hashem, noch hat es noch befolgt, in der gehillige deutsche Schickung Square, wie es ist gewesen, auf einer seltenen Verein hechter jede Proportie. In Baruch Hashem, Hans Steiner, du alle vereinigt, ke ich eicher benebecher. Sie du ein Wort für die festgelegtes Mieren, mit dem wir uns sagen, sein liebegebendes Wort für Getzel. Sucht ein Duvet Neures, steigt im Pusik bei Yosef Azadik, wenn sich getroffen mit seinem Bruder, den Jungen, steigt an geweint, einer auf dem zweiten Haus. Yosef war geweint als Abraham den Jungen Bucho als Amurov. So krasche, Yosef war geweint auf den Jungens Haus, von den zwei guten Duschen, das gar nicht wurde werden, ich heile für den Jungen. Den Jungen hat geweint auf Yosefs Haus, sie liebt den Mischenschiele, das gar nicht wurde werden, ich heile für Yosef. Stellt sich eine gewaltige Frage, wo der Rabbi sei, hast du deinen eigenen Päckchen, Yosef Azadik, hast du deinen Mischenschiele, wie Junge, die hast du deinen eigenen bittere Päckchen, zwei gute Dusches gerne Kuhle werden, wusste das gereinigt auf jenem Päckchen. Sucht der Päckchen, Mieren, du sie Tag in der Schiele, der ist ein wirklicher Kuhle geworden von Sinnes Hinnen, der dicken der Zieher Sahares Hinnen, haben sie gewollt weinen, ich leige weg mein Päckchen, kommen sie in jenem, du sie Sahares Hinnen. Übrig zu erwähnen, als Habeschinnen wie in Seebetuhan Banach, tausende Jiden mit Alkatzverteilung, Pharaibus hat doch nicht gesehen von den Augen, hat mit dem Jidka viel keimlich gehabt, aber der Kohlsack ist rausgekommen und hat sich versammelt, als ein riesiger Zippel, das ist der größte Muster Habeschinnen, was existiert, hat sich da weggelegt, jeder der eigene Päckle, sich bestattet mit solchen Schema-Mazinen, mit der Hand, die geschwerte Kiefer, was jeder weiß, dass er kommt schon lag, beteiligt sich mit solchen gewaltigen Waren-Medizines. Moira Graboisa, wenn es geht für uns von Saal noch im Getzels reden, setzt vor weiter den Habeschinnen, der Beuteschleuder der Patron, der Kifle, Kifleien. Reb Getzel Rubashkin.
Hayaki Shalcha Bincha Machar Leimer Mazes. Comes a time when a question, simple question, but a very difficult question arises. A person looks around and he thinks to himself, Mazdas, what is this? What's going on? The Tehillim tells us, as parents, when those questions arise, they're going to be directed to the father. When a child finds himself in a situation where the only question that he has is, what is this? What is going on? He directs it to his father. All too often, in this terrible galus, the father turns to his child and responds with tears in his eyes, but with a strong bitachon in his heart, in his voice. And he says, "Mein Teil Kind, I don't know. I don't understand it either. But one thing I do know, I also have a father. We have a father. He's our father. He loves us. And whatever it is that we're going through, for whatever reason, trust in him." About 85 years ago, 90 years ago, the Rebbe was targeted by the communist regime in Soviet Russia. His experiences are very well documented. One story my father would constantly repeat, in the good times and in the more difficult times. The Rayatz was brought into a commission that was insisting that he cease and desist, that he stop pushing and spreading and strengthening Yiddishkeit. He refused. At one point, one of the well-armed individuals on the commission picked up his gun, pointed it at the Rebbe, and said to him, "This little toy has convinced a lot of people." Without hesitation, the Rebbe Rayatz turned to him and said, "This little toy frightens people who have two gods and one world. I have one God and two worlds. This little toy doesn't frighten me." As a bocher, my father was a mechabel from the Mashpia Rabbi Elkan, who had an insight into the story that my father would constantly repeat. And it goes a very long way to explaining my father's strength and the strength he has given to us, his family. Why did the Rebbe mention that he had one God and that they had two? Seemingly, the point would be made if he would have simply said, "You have one world. You are frightened by something that might take you out of this world. I have two worlds. If I leave this world, I'm simply going to go to a different world, a better world, a world of truth. And that's why I'm not afraid." What did he add here with the words, one God, two God? Rabbi Elkan posed this question to his students, and he explained as follows. We live in a world which contains light, darkness, good and evil, pleasantness and pain. And there are those that, witnessing this, seeing this, come to the conclusion that there must be two forces that control the world. A good force, from which all that is good and pleasant and light comes, and an evil force, from which darkness and pain and evil comes. Such a person is very frightened by events around him, because to him, the evil in the world is real, and he is frightened that it might harm him. We, by contrast, the Yidden, know that there is one God, that the light and the darkness have one source. The pleasantness and the pain come from the same place. They come from our Father, come from the Eibusher. And so I am not afraid. What is there to fear from your Father? Your Father who loves you, who would only do what is good for you. It might be painful, but I'm not afraid. Throughout this experience, we have experienced pain, extraordinary pain.